Since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion, Norway has consistently been one of Ukraine's strongest supporters. Norway was one of the first allies to contribute to the Prioritized Ukraine Requirement List, or PEARL, helping deliver urgently needed US equipment to Ukraine. You are a leading contributor to this initiative, including your most recent additional contribution of over $300 million. I welcome the agreement between Norway and Ukraine to deepen defense and security cooperation, including support for the production of drones.
We are also taking greater European responsibility. And I think sometimes people refer to the fact that with this current American administration, Europe must do more. But this is an issue which predates the current administration. And now it's happening. From the Norwegian side, I can tell you that we emphasize strengthening Europe's capability by strengthening that capability inside NATO. And we do it also by deepening our bilateral cooperation with our European partners. The US is Norway's most important ally because of the special circumstances in the high north living next to Russia. But we have deepened with a modern defense agreement with the United Kingdom, from whom we will buy modern frigates.
I'll go directly to the question most Norwegians are wondering most these days. If there is an attack on Norway or another act of war against Norway, can we still trust that the NATO and the US will assist us? And I want to answer especially about the US.
Yeah, very clear, and the answer is yes. The United States remains fully committed to NATO. We see that commitment every day, all over the alliance, with US troops in Europe, US leadership within the alliance, and US contributions to our collective defense. Of course, commitment is always measured by actions. And so let me get to the actions. The United States continues to demonstrate in practical terms its commitment to NATO every day. We see men and women from the US serve alongside allies from the Black Sea to the High North.
UK Defence Minister John Healey just resigned over a disagreement about defence spending from the United Kingdom. Does this stress the fact that this isn't an easy process to ramp up defense spending?
What we are seeing all over the alliance is countries really stepping up. The United Kingdom last year increased its defense spending. I had not heard this announcement. John Healey, I respect very much, so I have to accept your assessment that this happened, but for me it's new. But more generally speaking, what we are seeing all over the alliance is countries increasing their defense investments. And of course, it's not easy. Because in the end there is always a trade-off with other expenses, which are also important. But the core task of every government in the end is keeping the country safe and making sure that there is a strong economy. These are the two pillars for our deterrence and defense. A strong economy which sustains the country and, of course, and all the jobs and the people in it, and at the same time making sure that the country is as safe as possible.
To follow up on my colleague's question, we saw yesterday that there was a poll where only 11% of Europeans view the US as an ally, and majorities in many European countries doubt that the US will actually defend us if attacked. So how will you and NATO address this breach of confidence?
By pointing at the facts, as I discussed with your colleague. And the facts are that the US is not only in word fully committed to NATO, but also in practice. And we see this, and I just listed all these examples where the US is heavily participating in joint exercises and or leading those exercises with substantial contributions. We have over 80,000 US troops in Europe. We have the nuclear umbrella as our ultimate guarantor of true freedom in Europe. So, of course, I read those polls, but let me then give you the facts. And the facts are that the US is here also, and this Prime Minister made this extremely clear when he visited the White House, and I always repeat this. He said the defense of the US mainland starts in Europe. It starts particularly in Norway. And you pointed out that these huge nuclear submarines from Russia on the other side of the border, and you have that historic border between NATO and Russia. Of course, before Finland and others joined, this was the only real border we had till the late 80s. And with Finland joining, of course, we have a much longer border. But what Jonas showed is to the American president, these nuclear submarines are not there to attack Norway. They are there to attack the mainland of the United States. And the fact that we are together in NATO, the US keeping Europe safe, Europe keeping the United States safe, jointly, transatlantic, making sure that 1 billion people are safe. I think the best example of that was that visit of your Prime Minister. I'm not sure you are from Norway.